And today, my fellow Biafrans, like I said, I am here to give you the update. Biafra Republic Government in exile and the Biafra Republic Government in homeland, the de facto government, has set up a declaration committee, a declaration drafting committee that has now taken it upon themselves to start working on listening our grievances against Nigeria.
Yes, the woman is the monster Ekenemono. Biafrans all over the world, I salute you all. Yes, fresh new update. PM Mazi Simon Ekpa dropped yesterday via emergency space broadcast on Twitter. So Bikonga like it chance again. Watch this video from beginning to the end. Do not skip any part of it. Name this live broadcast emergency PM yesterday. Oga publish a book compiling if any Nigeria Megoromo Biafran right from 1967. Now this booklet is among this struggle and mission to actualize the coming of Biafra on December 2nd. So some other things PM Mazi this video. After watching the video, because you didn't want to drop your opinion in the comment section and because make sure Nina share this video. Come on, doesn't quite we put this update. Watch the video, guys. I'll be right back.
Because it is going to be history that everybody will read. Why we are doing what we are doing today. So my fellow Biafrans, this has been the standard way of delegitimizing the existing state, today Nigeria, and legitimizing the new state, which is going to be Biafra. I want to draw your attention or your memory to the 1776 U.S. Declaration. The new state is presented as the only remedy. Only remedy. Today, Biafra will present this new state of Biafra as the only remedy to the listed grievances that the declaration drafting committee are going to list in a book. Because like I said, our grievances are endless. So it is going to come in a book form. However, in the process of dissolution of a country like USSR, and of course the former Yugoslavia, from 1919 onward, a number of federal and sub-federal units abandoned the objective of delegitimizing the old state. Like I said, our problem are peculiar. Nigeria is a very complex country, and we have found the solution how to deal and exit from Nigeria. And believe me, if you are not supporting this government, you will regret it, because we end up dragging you to freedom and then we give you condition. Now, state in their declaration or act of independence why it is difficult to establish the reason which this state did not delegitimize the existing one on their declaration. Because some of these states were no longer perceived as a functioning state, which was capable of asserting its legitimacy to rule over the ceding territory. This is apparent from the foundational constitutional charter of the Republic of Slovenia, issued at the same time as the Declaration of Independence, which in its preamble note that Slovenia no longer functions as a law-governed state capable of resolving the current problem. My fellow Biafrans, this is exactly the same thing happening between Nigeria and Biafra. Nigeria is no longer capable of resolving its current political and economic crisis. And that is one of the reasons Biafra is exiting, because Nigeria has failed to resolve its insecurity, terrorism, and all manner of political crisis, economic crisis. Nigeria have shown that they are incapacity, they are incapacitated, and they are not capable of resolving this current problem, and Biafra has a solution. Political and economic crisis. In the case of Slovenia, their Charter of 1991 preamble actually stated exactly what we are going through today, the inability of the government as at then to resolve their political and economic crisis. Moreover, this federation had been ruled by their respective communist parties. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of city state. And in the Biafra and Nigeria, we will make sure that we hold Nigeria people accountable for the injustices and the harms they have committed against Biafrans from the time of 1967 or even beyond that till this present day. We will hold all of them accountable, from Gowon to Obasanjo to every living Nigerian that has contributed in the genocide against our people. We are going to hold them responsible. It is not happening because there is no representative of Biafrans. There is nobody who summoned courage to represent Biafra people, speak to Nigeria in a language they will never understand until now. I have taken that responsibility. These parties and their leaders were held accountable for harms and injustices committed to the population of the city state, in the state of these Slovenians and all of that. However, by the time of the Declaration of Independence were issued, these parties had been removed from power and were effectively dissolved. In a sense, therefore, the grievances against this communist ruled state belong to the past or the present, the recent past, and were no longer relevant when city state declared their independence. In our own Nigeria against Biafra, it is going to be different because those evil government officials that committed this crime against us are still at large today. And the government is still in power. Nigeria government is still very active, killing our people in Biafra land. So we are going to make sure that we hold them very, very responsible for all the killings you see today happening in the southeast, east, and south to south. In Okwama community, or the massacre, all of them, we are going to list all these killings and we hold them responsible. One could just argue that the whole stage that would have been target of the legitimization through a list of grievances had already lost their operational legitimacy. And that's exactly the tactics that the Biafra government is applying today. We are expecting that as we are declaring the restoration of independence of Biafra, we will make sure that we reduce Nigeria to ground zero in Biafra territory through our actions from the Biafra Defense Force.